Well, good morning. Join me this morning, back on my banks of local Riveroos. Be the last trip out before Christmas. It's the 20th of December, so time's ticking on. And as you can see, got the brolly up. There's a bit of a sort of back wind across my shoulder. It's a bit chilly, so we got a little bit of comfort for Christmas. I'm fishing the feeder. As you see, I got the rod up. The colour has dropped out the water a fair amount in less than 24 hours. I came down and had a look a little bit further along and could probably see round about a foot down. Today, I would say you probably see 1.5 feet or maybe a little bit more. There's a little bit of movement on the water, not a massive amount. I'm actually holding bottom with a 22 gram feeder, so 3/4 ounce feeder, a little bit of a bow. I'm actually holding bottom. Keep an eye out just in case there's any rows about. So yeah, look, say it's not got as much pace in colour as I'd have hoped, but it's still got that tinge of colour. It's still got that little bit of movement, which sometimes that's all this river needs. So hopefully we might get 1 or 2 bites. I'm not expecting anything probably for about 1.5 hours, maybe even 2 hours today, with that colour dropping out. But hopefully we might get 1 or 2 skimmers, maybe a bream. There's an outside chance of a tench as well. Like I say, still got a little bit of movement. There's a little bit of weed coming through, still not a massive amount. But I've got my weed shots on the line to trap any that may come through. As you can see there, sort of weed shot I've got above the feeder. Picked up a little bit of weed, keeping the feeder clean. Same down the bottom on the hook length. Try and keep the hook bait clean. So with it not pulling through as much as what it did, I'm actually still fishing a 13-foot rod. I'm actually fishing a lighter version. So I'm fishing Cadence CR10 13-foot number 2. Where before last week I fished a number 3. It's number 2, got a 1.5 ounce tip. I've got CS4000 reel, and I've got £5 main line. I've got no shock leader, just the main line. So if there is any weed, that's got no shock leader not to catch on. So hopefully don't get any entanglements around the tip. But like I say, if you do get any weed stuck round by the tip eye, because these are a little bit smaller eyes, you can crack that quiver tip as quick as a flash. So you always need to be mindful of what's going on. Like I say, I've got 2 shots above the feeder. Got one there, and I've got another one there. The number 8 stots just above the feeder. So I've got helicopter rig there. Got 2 float stops, a little bit of weed. 2 float stops, little twizzled loop there. And like I say, got 22 gram 3/4 ounce Nisa plastic feeder. Got a quick change, and I've got 014 Colmic King fluorocarbon. Again, stot, another stot, and I've got size 18 MXB2 matrix feeder, matrix hook on the business end there. So that's the setup. Like I say, it's a little bit lighter than what I hope to use. I sort of hoped that I'd be using a minimum of 1 ounce feeder today, but the pace could pick up during the day. You just don't know. So it's still got a little bit of movement, not as much as I'd liked. But we'll get this back out there anyway. I've seen 1 or 2 fish top, sort of just to my left and a little bit further along. So we'll get this back out there. I've actually got it clipped up today because it's not pulling through a lot, so I've got it clipped up. So all I'm doing is hitting the clip about 3 parts the way over, not winding in any line and just leaving it to pick up on the tip. As you can see, we've got a bit of slack tip there. What flow there is just picking up on the line, and that's slowly pulling the tip down. So it's tensioning on the bow, not tightening up, just tensioning on the bow. With that light feeder, any fish that may be in the area, if they pick up that hook bait, dislodge that feeder, just going to get a drop back bite, which is what we're looking for. We've got some casters that will be putting through the feeder. I've also got some dead maggot which I took out this morning. I take that out, make room for the meat for Christmas Day. I've got some reds and I've got some fluoros. On the ground bait front, just a natural mix. That's Bait Tech Pro Natural Bream and Bait Tech Pro Natural Dark. And I've mixed it all up with some molasses in the mixing water, and as you can see I've got some casters in there. So every time I go out there's a few casters going in, put a pinch of dead maggot in there as well. I've got some worm behind me if I need it. I'm a little bit dubious about putting any worm in till I know what's out there. Say, if there was a lot more colour in the water, I think I'd have probably chopped some worm up. But like I say, because that colour's dropped out a little bit, I'm going to err on the side of caution, just go down the ground bait route, casters, dead maggot in there, a few free offerings, and just see how we go. I started off putting about 8 of those out, I suppose. It's a small basket feeder, there's 20 gram. So a small basket feeder, probably put about 8 of those out, like I say. Then I'll put a further 3 that were packed tight with caster and plugged off with ground bait at the end. So it's had a fair amount of bait out there anyway. Like I say, I've seen 1 or 2 fish move, so hopefully, you know, as the session progresses, we might start to get 1 or 2 bites, a few roach topping. I would say hopefully, outside chance, might get a skimmer, bream, or even a tench. We got the flowers. Most importantly today, minutes just getting close to the occasion, we have actually got some mince pies. These are actually Taste the Difference mince pies. Other brands are available. And we're going to have one of them a bit later on with a brew. And if my mate pops by, he's going to have one as well. So there we go, we're all set to go. So just be mindful, it's where we are here, there's a bit of a bend there. There's a lot of reeds which were obstructing the view of any rowers coming up, so just be mindful of what's about. Hopefully, we'll have a nice day. Like I say, it's the last one before Christmas. For me, I'm working up to Christmas. Might be able to get a couple in, just 1 or 2 in, maybe before the new year. It's a rare Sunday outing for me. I'm normally a Saturday man, but today looks like it might be the better day. Sun's just starting to break through the clouds at the back there. And all in all, looks like it might be a beautiful, beautiful morning. All we need now is 1 or 2 rattles on the tip. Hopefully get 1 or 2 fish in the net. First bite of the day. Looks like a roach, maybe a perch. Little skimmer. Go. First fish of the day. A lot of black spots on it, don't know what that is. Seen it before in roach, never seen it before in skimmers. That's probably a hybrid looking at the eye. So that's a nice way to start the session. Like I say, it's first bite, so hopefully might get 1 or 2 more now. Hopefully. life in it. Oh, it's got him hooked me up now. There we go. He swam in me net. There we go. Hybrid. Lovely. Skimmer. I was thinking about having a little bit of Christmas comfort gets in the way of the old landing net hole, but I don't care. There we go, a little skimmer, glistening in the sunshine. Okay. I'll actually now just put my rod down. To the fact it's still pulling a bit, but it's not a massive amount now, so don't really need the rod up in the air. Oh, a couple of fluoros. I'm still leaving a little bit slack line, so I'm not tightening right up to it. Still letting the flow do a little bit. It's a good start. There's a few rows about now, so that'll help a little bit with the rod down as well. Oh, beautiful. See, I'm just fishing rod across me now, just fishing with the tip down. Just off the water. Decent old bend in that tip. Like I say, there's still a little bit of flow. I need to fish a little bit heavier feeder, I will. Bite there. So there's fish out there. And there's a fish just rolled there. Just see the roots from it. There's 1, 2 fish about. Hopefully, like I said earlier, if this, when the session goes on, might get 1 or 2 more bites. But it is, after all, it is winter fishing. Yeah, don't climb up the line. Got to work at it. say I'm fishing an 014 hook length, I might have to drop to an 012. But we'll see. There's a few fish about, not many. 1 or 2 bites, nice on a winter's day. That lovely roach. Beautiful roach. First roach of the session. Beautiful fish. So put the rod back up now. It wasn't right with it sat down. A little bit of weed trundling through. Weed shot doing the line, doing the job, keeping everything nice and clean. Still getting a little tiny bit on the hook length, but it's manageable. All fish so far. Probably double fluoro, sort of double big maggot fluoro. There you go, there, look. So not tightening up. Got a few feeders sent by the side of me if the flow does pick up. Like I say, I'm still fishing at 22 grams, so I've got a 30 gram cage and a smaller 30 gram cage there because it's not very deep and the flow isn't, you know, it isn't too bad. So I want to get that bait out as quick as possible, really. It's not gonna, because it's not as fast as what it was last week, it's not going to start ripping through the peg. So if I do need to step up a little tiny bit, I'll put one of those on. Or I've always got by the side of me little clip-on weights that go on the Nisa feeders, so I can put 5 gram on there if need be. At the moment it's 22 gram, is just about right. In fact, you could say it's simply lovely. Well, it's been a very, very tough session. Still picking up 1 or 2 fish. No big fish today. Sort of had 5 skimmers, 3 hybrids, a few roach. Just every now and getting a roach, or sometimes a sort of 6-ounce skimmer. Not a lot of fish, but since the sun really came up overhead, it proper slowed the proceedings down. I was getting 1 or 2 indications before. Our water's gone very clear now. It's sort of bright sunshine on a winter's day. Recipe for disaster. But like I say, we're still getting 1 or 2 bites. Probably give it another sort of hour or so I mean, net's up there drying now. So I put the fish back about half hour ago. Give a bit of a draw and a bit of a blow in the wind and the sun. Like I say, still getting odd bites. Caught all the fish on double fluoro today. Not had a bite on red maggot at all, where the last time when I fished, a bit more colour in the water, I caught more on red maggot. Nice to get out just before Christmas, so never know what can happen over the next hour. We can do but try. Aha! It's pie talk. A little Bobby mince pie. So I can get out without making a mess. Come on. Monkey. There you go. They look really good. So, we'll see. Oh, very nice. Well, just about got to the end of the session now. Been very, very tough going. I've managed to have 5 skimmers, 3 hybrids, and a few roach. I've had 1 or 2 bites which I've missed, little tiny taps. Odd drop back bite where the maggot's just been nipped. I think that's just small roach just nipping at the end. The colour's been dropping out the water while I've been fishing. The level's actually probably dropped a couple of inches as well while I've been fishing. So it's not been the easiest of conditions. You know, sunshine, clear skies. But that's winter fishing, and that's the challenge of winter fishing on a natural venue. You win some, you lose some. So what remains to be said, hope yourself and your family all have a great Christmas. Enjoy it the best you can. And more importantly, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you out on the other side. So cheers to all of you. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time on the bank. Oosh!